I really hope I'm in focus. The world is on fire! Every day I wake up, I see a headline that confuses me, shocks me, angers me. And instead of sitting in that confusion, shock, and anger, people may think it's bad to disassociate or to focus on things that you do have control over. It's important to stay informed and to do your best to make the change that you can. But at the end of the day, I do believe in protecting your peace. I know that's an overused phrase, but you cannot function if you don't take care of yourself. You can't help others if you are not helping yourself. So in this video, I wanted to do like a Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide type video where I am basically going over things that I do to maintain peace and ease and mental clarity and have relatively good mental health. In the times that we're living in now, at the age that I'm in my early 20s, I grew up on the internet. Social media is infiltrating every part of my life, it feels like, even my work. How I unplug, I think these are very non-traditional methods that more people should try and challenge themselves to see if they will work for them. And it was just on my heart to share this information, especially being in your early 20s where everything's very confusing. You feel lost. Who am I? What do I mean in this world? What am I supposed to be doing? I mean, you can feel like this at any age, but it's really heightened here because this is like your first exposure to it. This isn't gonna be your typical drink water, get more sleep type of advice. If you're somebody who's struggling or you want to find alternative methods to dealing with the drama, chaos, turmoil, uncertainty that comes with being a human on earth, here it is. Here's some of the things that I do to cope. This is Ricky G's Gen Z survival guide of maintaining mental clarity, having pretty good mental health, ease, peace in 2025, the year of what feels like demonic clout. Okay, so the first thing is I don't drink coffee. I avoid caffeine. I've never been a coffee drinker. I know a lot of people get exposed to drinking coffee in like middle school. I tried it out of my dad's Keurig around that time and I literally almost vomited. I probably did vomit or had extreme diarrhea, one of the two, and I never went back. Ever. I think caffeine creates this artificial energy spike followed by a crash. That roller coaster isn't great for mood or focus. Most people drink coffee or caffeine in the morning to wake them up, and I don't think you should be relying on that to wake you up. Just wake up. And I know it's gonna be hard because you're like sleepy and groggy, but wake up, look out the window, walk around, do some meditation. Honestly, brushing my teeth and like all that goes on with brushing your teeth, like the toothpaste and the brushing back and forth and the gargle, mouthwash, that kind of wakes me up. So while caffeine can improve alertness, excessive intake can exacerbate anxiety and sleep disturbances. A 2008 study published in Psychosomatic Medicine found that caffeine consumption can induce anxiety symptoms, particularly in vulnerable individuals. And it's people out here drinking multiple cups of coffee a day. So if you are a avid caffeine drinker, maybe try a week not doing that. And if you find yourself, oh my gosh, that's so hard for me to do, you might be addicted. And you shouldn't really be addicted to anything. This one might shock you. I do not and have never had a Twitter or X account, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I'm not calling it X. F Elon Musk. I've never had a Twitter account. And overall, believe it or not, like even with this channel, I keep my social media presence pretty limited across the board. Why do I not have a Twitter? I just simply never got on it. I don't know. When I was getting into social media, I had Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. So YouTube first, then it was Instagram when I was like in 5th grade. And then I got Snapchat probably like in middle school. I don't get on Snapchat anymore. I haven't gotten on Snapchat probably since like 2019. Obviously still here on YouTube. And Instagram, I'm gonna talk about this more later, but I really only get on Instagram to post. It's kind of like my little diary. Like when something big happens, like, oh, I'm going on a trip, or I wanna document something really quickly and like put text to it, or like my weight loss, I did like a whole weight loss thing on Instagram stories, then that's what I use Instagram for. I don't actually like engage on other people's Instagrams that much. But let me get back to Twitter. Twitter in particular often feels like a constant stream of outrage and negativity. It's just like a cesspool of just straight up, just horrendous, heinous things that you should not be hearing or seeing. Especially now that Elon Musk has acquired it, it just feels yuck as far as I've seen. I have to deal with X a lot with my job and I don't like it. I strongly believe being like the age that I am and never having had a Twitter account has been significantly linked to why I feel like my mental health is pretty good. I'm so serious. And it's like there's no limits on Twitter. Like you can see literally anything. Hate speech, corn. I think it's one of the worst social media platforms ever. Black Twitter and niche subcultures that have come out of Twitter is cool and all, but overall I think most damaging social media apps, and I'm glad I've never partaken in it. I'm gonna talk more about social media later. Number 3, I take daily nature walks. Every single day mostly every single day, I make sure to experience nature in some form or fashion. Even if it's just me literally stepping outside my door and looking around and feeling the air for 30 seconds, I have to do this. It's my non-negotiable reset. It's a chance for me to disconnect from all the screens. I work from home. I do this YouTube stuff. I have other side businesses and everything where it's like I'm constantly looking at my screen, and to breathe fresh air and just be present has been very crucial for me in my development. Clears my head, shifts my perspective. Like I said, it's almost like a reset. And also being outside and being in the natural world really does remind you that there's so much more to life than like this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much more to life than like your immediate worries and tasks and what's on Asana and what's on Instagram. Like, it doesn't matter. Just go outside and it'll remind you like, wow, this shit doesn't matter. Studies have consistently shown the benefits of spending time in nature. For example, research from Stanford University found that a 90-minute walk in a natural setting compared to an urban one decreased rumination, repetitive negative thoughts, and activity in a brain region associated with mental illness. I particularly have been really into walking ever since last year, 2024. I try to get my 10,000 steps like all of the hot girl walkers. But I don't beat myself up if I don't get 10,000 steps on the weekend, especially. It's really a high number, and yes, you can break it up. 10,000 steps, people have to realize, I think it takes like an hour and a half. People are extremely busy, so I say aim for like, if you getting like 2,000 to 3,000, try to aim for 5. Then once you get 5, try to aim for 7. Once you get 7, then maybe you get to 10. And don't put so much pressure on yourself. As long as you're moving, at least to me, for like 15 minutes a day, I think that's worth something. Exposure to natural environments can lower stress hormones like cortisol, blood pressure, and heart rate. It's been so hot lately, so I have been utilizing my walking pad a little bit more for that movement, but I do just still crave that sunshine. But also keep in mind, heat stroke is a thing, and same thing for the winter. Be wary about weather changes when you're embracing that nature aspect. Number 4 is I feel like for my age, I definitely 1000% live below my means. This one is a huge one for like my peace of mind. I don't chase trends. I don't buy things I don't need. And I really have been, especially in 2025, prioritizing saving and striving for financial stability over instant gratification. I've always been a saver. Like ever since I was a kid, I always was scared to be without, so I would always put something to the side. I've been a little less anal about it as I've matriculated into adulthood, because I see how the world is going, and I also have half of me that's like, well, let me enjoy life while I'm still here. But you can enjoy life responsibly. I feel like people think it's all or nothing, and that's not a good attitude to have. Our generation, especially, financial stress is a big anxiety for a lot of people. I've always thought it was kind of stupid to keep up with the Joneses. It really is. People out here with all this designer and showing off on social media, and then they go back and return it and they're sleeping on the floor. So not everything is what it seems. All of this stuff doesn't freaking matter. That's a big theme of this video. Most things in life do not matter, and having a financial cushion will ultimately lead to you being financially free, more control over your life choices because of this. Now, I'm very blessed that I have a lot of financial stability because I've been awarded privileges. Like, I don't have to pay rent at the moment. I have found like a good job. I'm able to like save rigorously and pay off debts and do all these things. Like, I've realized that comes with a lot of privilege. Take advantages of the privileges that you may have. Reach out to resources that could help ease the burden of your financial stress, or like help you get to a better financial position. Especially, there's so many free resources on the internet for that. A survey by the American Psychological Association often highlights financial stress as a leading cause of stress in Americans, with significant impacts on mental and physical health. Financial stability provides a buffer against unexpected life events. The psychological benefits of having an emergency fund and not being debt burdened are well documented in personal finance literature. Number 5, I'm very intentional about energy boundaries. I am very particular about who I give my time to and who I allow to have access to me. I know that sounds very like pretentious and a little like self-absorbed, but let me explain. I don't like to feel drained. I don't like to feel manipulated. I don't like to feel used. I don't like to feel unfulfilled when I'm speaking with someone. I think it's a lot of energy vampires out there, where the people you get around them and you just start to feel shitty because of their presence. And it's because they're draining you of something, whether that's your time, your energy. They're pouring negativity into you. They're not giving and receiving when it comes to like a relationship. And I've learned to say no to things without guilt, when to recognize when something or someone is completely draining me. And it goes back to like, I cannot do anything if I'm not doing anything for myself. Like, I can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, drama, or people who don't respect your boundaries, you're gonna feel drained and overwhelmed. It's as simple as that. Protecting myself, my time, my energy means I have more time left for my goals, myself, and for the people who I know for sure truly uplift me. People who I get around them and I feel good being around them. I crave their presence once in a while. Emotional contagion. People's emotions and behaviors influence others. That's a real thing. Boundary setting is crucial for preventing burnout, maintaining personal well-being, and fostering healthy relationships. I don't mean Ace from Love Island of setting boundaries, but more so looking out for you and your best interests. Always making sure that you feel comfortable in any interaction that you're in and not being rude or nasty about it. Number 6, I do not have any harmful vices. Instead of reaching for alcohol, drugs, endless scrolling, or other potentially harmful vices when I'm stressed or want to escape, I simply dive into fiction, meaning reading books, watching movies, or really getting into a TV show. It's a healthy form of escapism. It's better than the things that I've listed before. Of course, you can become addicted to anything. Becoming addicted to fiction or media can be fixed more easily compared to like being addicted to alcohol or drugs or sex or corn or whatever. It's really nice to disengage from your own worries and immerse yourself into another world. It's a mental vacation without the negative consequences that come with other coping mechanisms. It's very restorative, and it's also like fun. I've made a whole channel out of me just like talking about fictitious media. Reading fiction can increase empathy, reduce stress, and even improve brain connectivity. A study in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology found that engaging with fictional narratives can reduce anxiety and rumination. Engaging with positive fictitious media is a form of mindful distraction, allowing the mind to rest from problem solving. This is obviously easier said than done. Drugs, chemicals, things of that nature are very highly addictive, and it's easy to just be like, oh, well, stop shooting up meth. Just watch Gossip Girl. Of course. And obviously a lot of people recreationally or socially drink alcohol and do drugs, which in theory isn't as harmful as being heavily addicted to it, but slippery slope for slippery folks. I just put this part in here to make sure that you guys do some self-reflection on things that you might consider vices in your life and see if they're more harmful or helpful to your overall quality of life. Okay, number 7 is minimalism, tidying. I'm not a minimalist quite yet, but I'm definitely getting there. I go through my stuff very frequently and make sure that I'm keeping what actually serves me and is like functional, and maybe it's sentimental. I try not to have too much stuff because it's very easy to acquire a bunch of stuff and to get into hoarder territory. It's so easy. It doesn't sound like it is to have piles of stuff up, but trust me, it is. I always tell people this with my business. Your environment is a reflection of your mind. I don't know how people can like function when there's crap, when there's shit, when there's clutter everywhere. No, it's just stuff at the end of the day. Less clutter means less mental clutter, less stuff to organize, keep clean. It's very freeing. It creates a sense of lightness. I don't have to always worry about what's next, what's coming in. It's just like, okay, if my pair of shoes tears up, that means it's time to get me another pair. I'm not gonna just keep getting shoes because they're so cute. Like, really look at something, and they say look at it again every day for a week. After a week, if you still want it, but then usually after a week, you usually like are not super obsessed with it anymore. Studies from Princeton University's Neuroscience Institute suggest that physical clutter can overwhelm your senses, creating stress and making it harder to focus. A more minimalist environment can lead to a more relaxed and focused mind. You also want to keep in mind like moving, and then like especially like with older people's parents, when they pass away, you got to go back into that house and like get everything out. All this stuff is burdensome. You don't really need to keep what you absolutely need, adds function to your life, and then for the sentimental stuff, keep that at a certain number. Only so many things can be sentimental. The last 2 I want to couple up. It's basically, a lot of you would be happier if you stopped comparing yourself to others so much and caring about what other people think, and then also tying this in with social media. Believe it or not, having this channel doesn't mean I don't limit my social media presence. That's why it's been harder for me to ideate and come up with stuff, because I don't really know what's going on, because it's extremely exhausting to always be in the know. People don't really talk about that. It takes up so much space in your brain. Even if you're not in the know for like pop culture. Think about being on Instagram every single day and sliding through all of these stories of people you may or may not know, and the people you know, maybe you haven't talked to them in like 5 years, but you know exactly what they're doing. All of that information, like who was really supposed to know all of that information about people? You know what I mean? Like at one time, every single day. I don't know how y'all do it. Like it's just too much. Like it's too much on my mind. It's like cool to share things on social media, of course, but every day it's just clogging your brain. Why do you need to know where Sally from high school went to dinner tonight at? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just too, I don't think we're supposed to keep tabs on people like how social media has made it seem to be normal, because I don't get on Instagram to look at what other people are doing. It sounds harsh, but like, of course, if I go on there to post something that I want to document for myself and happen to share with others, if I'm on there, okay, if I see somebody graduated, congratulations. If I see somebody had a child, congratulations. If I see you looking cute, you look cute, girl, heart eye, heart eye. I'm not afraid to do that, but like every single day, no. Also, Instagram has just become like so aestheticized, if that's a word. Like it's just all about aesthetics now. I feel like people used to just have fun and be themselves and get ugly. I feel like people's tried to get ugly with like the whole dumps thing, but now even dumps are curated. It feels like a competition. It feels like about to go meet the Queen of England every time you log on to Instagram. That's how it feels for me. So I really limit myself. Hate to say it, hate to be cliche, hate to sound like every other bitch. She's just like every other bitch. Comparison is a thief of joy. And I feel like Instagram is like the driver of comparison. You do not know everybody's individual journey unless they tell you, and they can only tell you so much. We're all going through things. Nobody's life is perfect. You can admire someone, be happy for them, and aspire to have similar qualities as them, but to like compare your life to somebody else's, especially if you don't even know them, is very strange. It does absolutely nothing for you. So like, why do it? And this goes into like my last point of, you simply have to stop caring about what people think about you. Please stop. I don't care if it's a stranger on the street or your bestest friend, your mother. Take bits and pieces from the people you love and care about, but don't let that define who you are and how you present and really infiltrate your mind into changing yourself. I hope one day most people will soon like come to a realization on literally not caring about what other people are thinking or what they have to say about you, because they are not living your life. My realization came when I was in the 7th grade, when this horrendous looking girl that I used to be friends with, she was ugly on the inside and the outside, because she actually put me on to Gossip Girl, and we were talking about New York, because you know Gossip Girl set in New York and neither of us had been. My mom bought me this NYC shirt off of Redbubble, shout out to Redbubble, and I wore it to school the next day, so excited. Show her in particular, but also I just was so excited about the shirt. Why does girl say that shirt is ugly, or she's like that shirt is cheap, or she said something really shady? I could have went back home and put the shirt in the back of my closet and never wore it again, but I wore that shirt every single week just to piss that girl off, because why the freak are you going to control my life looking the way you do? It's not even about her looks. I'm sorry. Who are you to tell me about this shirt that I love? Okay, you can say that and I can ignore it. I can do nothing about it, and that's exactly what I did. I kept wearing the shirt just to piss you off, and also because I like the shirt. Don't let what people have to say or what people may or may not think of you dictate your life. That is not good. Please stop. And one day you will come to realization where you simply do not give a F. I've been this way since I was in the 7th grade, and once you have that feeling, it's unbeatable. It's like above financial freedom for me. Okay, I'll take that into consideration, but at the end of the day, this is my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what people think about me. I don't even get that many hate comments, but the hate comments I do get, it's people with no profile pictures who are freaking trolls. They're sad, they're pathetic, they're unfulfilled in some aspect of their life. What does that have to do with me? That's a you problem. I'm gonna say 2 quotes to end this video. What other people think about you is none of your business. Don't stress. Do your best. The rest. I hope this video helped somebody. I have so many YouTube videos on the way, in the works. I have been extremely busy. Yes, when you become an adult, life gets busy. Thank you for watching. Leave suggestions down below, but I have so many awesome videos coming up. Hopefully I can actually get them out. Don't tell your mother. Kiss for another. Die for each other. We're cool for the summer. Yeah! I can't tell if I'm in focus. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of that same old love. That shit, it tears me up.